so interesting, the waves of information that are coming out based around this Jordan doc.
It's insane.
Isn't it cool?
And it's going to be cool to see because the Jordan doc, his legacy was at the highest it's been since 1997, 1998.
After they dropped it.
By the end of the Last Dance, Jordan is back, dude. He's 100%, maybe more godlike than ever.
Right.
But then you're starting to hear story by story, and I don't think I'm curious to know how much it'll chip away because each story chips a little bit away from what he presented himself as.
Do you think that this ends up hurting his legacy?
I don't know, and that's my question, is in the long run, will it chip away from it so much that you're like, he should have done this documentary differently?
That's the thing. It's like, when he initially put it out, I'm like, cemented, that's it, statue, he's the GOAT, nobody could touch him. But when you say you're the GOAT, you're basically inviting the discussion from everyone else how you aren't. And we will hear, the loudest voices will be your detractors. So when... what's the motherfucker's name? Tim Duncan goes, honestly, I was never really impressed. I sent you this. I meant to send you. I think I sent to Al by accident. But it was like Tim Duncan comes out and goes, honestly, I was never really impressed by Michael Jordan, but I'm not really impressed by anybody. Like, you never even hear that discussion if Last Dance isn't out. Because nobody's going to Tim Duncan and saying, so what was your thoughts about Michael? So he's inviting the criticism in an age where criticism is the loudest microphone no matter what. So when this story about Scottie Pippen coming out and saying that he thought Kobe was better than Mike. That happened before the documentary came out.
And it's also, if you watch the quote, he's like, I thought Kobe was better than him because he just worked so hard and he didn't have training. And it's like, oh, you're saying MJ was better, but Kobe worked harder and you liked him and he didn't have a great coach, which he did.
Yeah. But it is interesting, like, to see people slowly start to chip away, man. Like, slowly start to chip away. And I wonder if Jordan was better off, if his legacy was actually more intact before social media, because social media couldn't do anything to disintegrate that reputation because it wasn't even in question. It was just like, yeah, he's the GOAT, but let's not really discuss it. Maybe LeBron's the GOAT now. Is it LeBron? Is he the best? Whatever. But you weren't really talking about what Jordan did or didn't do. And now people are coming out and saying, nah, bro, Jordan actually wasn't that tough. Like, I stepped to him and he didn't do shit.
See, I think if he just presented himself as, I was obsessed with winning. And if he was even remorseful, like, I was pretty hard on some teammates, like, you know, like, I fucked up. If he was just more like, I was hard on teammates, but I did them a favor. They won because of me, which is true, but it was always his shade of the truth.
You're opening up the door.
And if that, sometimes he's straight up lying. And if you do a better job of being objective, and and this is, every GOAT needs somebody who's willing to push back. And this is, again, the value of a Phil. The director ain't Phil. The director is going to say, oh, okay, you want us to say it like this? Let's say it like this. If you had a Phil Jackson type director to be like, hey, man, is that true? Are you sure you were okay with Isaiah being on the team and there was no conversation? Because if not, it's a fucking problem. You're going to look like an asshole.
100%.
I'm going to push back a little bit. He didn't have that.
One lie eliminates all your truths.
It really does. Trust is super fragile.
And that's the thing. It's like every statement that he said in that documentary or that was even portrayed in the documentary, because now we know he put out the edit for the documentary and he co-signed everything that was out there.
Right.
This wasn't a third party, right? With the Lance documentary, I don't think it's Lance. I think it's someone else making it. He just agreed to it. But this is Jordan's doc. So Jordan is in control of the narrative. If one lie comes out, now we question every other truth. We start to go, oh shit, were people really that afraid of talking shit to him and him holding a grudge? Or were they just making that up for the documentary? Because if they could make up the food poisoning thing, they could make up that.
Sam Smith also said he lied about something. Did I send that story or not?
He said that he lied about the food poisoning, and he said he lied, I think, about seventh year. And I knew they weren't coming back.
I knew that was bullshit. We said that early in the documentary, and then there's a scene I remember, we all remember, he's in the hotel room alone, and he's like, I'm not going to miss any of this. I'm just confined to my hotel room, and I can't do anything. This is my only time alone. That moment, I remember being like, oh, he was done here. He knew he was done. And then he comes out and says, it's maddening I didn't get to do a seventh year. And it's like, well, you could have played for somebody else. You only want to play for Phil? You didn't want to go to another team? You could have gone to the Knicks, given the Knicks a championship, been God.
Bro, I loved Michael Jordan, but I wonder if there's a lesson to be learned here, which is, if you're already considered the GOAT, screaming at the top of your lungs or putting out a documentary that goes, I'm the GOAT.
In a biased way?
In a biased way only puts you in the situation where you could be criticized.
Yep.
And can chip away from your GOAT status.
Yep.
I don't think he was considered the GOAT. Like, there were way more discussions of who's better, LeBron or Jordan. Now, because of this documentary, we've all seen that, okay, no, Jordan was definitely better than LeBron. So I think he needed this to cement himself in our generation. Like,
I agree with that, but if it had been done more objectively, or if his only focus was, I wanted to win more than everything, winning was the only thing that mattered, and that was it, and it wasn't all the other shit, then we might have been like, yo, this dude is obsessed with winning in a way that LeBron isn't.
I think Akaash made a great point because if he was more of an asshole in this documentary, we would believe everything that he said.
Yeah. I wanted Isaiah out the Dream Team. Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. Fuck him. I didn't like him. Fuck him. And you know what? The GOAT gets to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you showcase every single story, if you say every single thing that happened, matter of fact, if you even have some humility, if you're always like, you know what, I stepped to Robert Parrish, that's a big motherfucker, bro. I'm like, hey, Steve Kerr. Something like that.
I didn't always get my way. I mean, I didn't always get. I tried to push. Sometimes I pushed buttons too far. I regret some of the things I did. Sometimes people call me on my shit.
Son, I really think if it was, like you said, if it was just focused on how much, what he was willing to do to win, no matter what it all costs, we would look at LeBron and go, nah, he's not willing to win at all costs like Jordan, solidified.
Yeah.
But when you build yourself up into this kind of folk hero, which he did, he turned himself into one of these Wild West heroes from the movies that he loves to watch.
And we all bought it, but it was stupid that we bought it in retrospect because it's like, this can't all be true.
Son, we live in the information age. Right now, we can go to every single person that was in that documentary and go, is this what happened? And they had the ability, true or false, to chip away at it. That's dangerous, bro.
I'm just saying the only people you're hearing negative things from are the B level. Besides
this is audio of, let's play this clip. This is audio, I'm going to read the tweet. Audio of Michael Jordan admitting he told Rod Thorne that he wouldn't play on the Dream Team if Isaiah was on it.
Let's hear it.
And this is from him.
Something's going on.
Just give me 2 seconds.
This is from a podcast Jordan did, or an interview Jordan did a long time ago.
Right.
Years ago, maybe decades ago. So this is a 23-second soundbite. If we can't get the audio right, we'll just read the quote. It's probably in the article.
Let's do it. We got it? Hello?
Nah, we'll insert it later.
What's going on?
I don't know. Probably this cord is breaking down or something like that.
So go scroll up. I think the article has a quote. Rod Thorne called me. I said, Rod, I won't play if Isaiah Thomas is on the team. He assured me. He said, you know what? Chuck, being Chuck Daly, which we also speculated, doesn't want Isaiah, so Isaiah is not going to be a part of the team. You called the Chuck thing perfectly.
I knew Chuck didn't want him on that fucking team.
Yeah.
I knew something happened there. And if you soured with the coach that took you to 2 championships,
you're an asshole.
You're a piece of shit, real talk.
And if Jordan said that, I didn't want him on the team. Fuck, Larry didn't like him. Chuck Daly, his own coach, didn't want him on the team. Why does he need to be on the team? And he was 1992 Isaiah, not 1988 Isaiah. He's not the same player. Why the fuck do I need him on the team?
Also, he's probably not the only person that said he didn't want him on the team.
Yeah.
A lot of people probably said they didn't want him on the team. I think it'd be better if he was honest.
Yep.
Brutal honesty. Let us know how fucked up you are, man.
Treat us like you treat your teammates.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
But maybe he wasn't brutally honest.
All this shit, I think, just came out of his insecurity. Like, he greenlit the documentary after LeBron won the finals.
Yeah, apparently, you hear that?
Yeah.
He greenlit
after LeBron came back from 3-1.
He greenlit the documentary.
Like, he just felt all this insecurity and then had to, like, lie about it. Like, what do you do when you're insecure? You start, like, embellishing shit.
Inflating yourself.
You know, you said there's a lesson here maybe to be learned as much as we love Jordan. I think Jordan teaches us a lot of lessons on what to do and what not to do. He's teaching lessons all the time, whether he realizes it or not. What to do in a lot of ways, how hard to work, all that shit, the singular focus on winning, that's all. You can do all that. What not to do, don't be Jordan now. This unhappy, miserable motherfucker in a mansion, just yellow-eyed, fucking drunk all the time, smoking cigars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, when you are on a, like, you didn't even fact check your own shit.
Yeah.
You didn't remember saying publicly, I don't want this guy on the team about a controversy that's existed for decades?
Yo, I'm not going to lie. Jordan strikes me as the type of dude that believes his own lies.
Yeah. Well, that makes perfect sense.
You know how you like saw in the documentary he made up that LeBradford Stevens or whatever, LeBradford Smith, whatever the fuck his name was, like he said something and I took it personal.
He said good game.
And I took it personal.
What an asshole.
Yeah, so it's like he strikes me as the type of guy who goes, No, I don't think I ever told Rod Thorne. And then just starts believing that he didn't tell Rod Thorne.
Yeah.
And he just believes whatever reality he's in because it benefits him to believe that.
That's true.
And that is like a telltale sign of a psychopath or at least sociopath. One of those two. Yeah. You just start believing these things are real.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's kind of a shame, man. Oh, God, imagine this actually killed his legacy. That'd be really sad.
I think there's always going to be, it's just going to go back and forth. So there's going to be a tipping point where it's too far. We're hating on Jordan. We forget he's the best. And then I think it'll even out.
If Scotty comes out and he was like, and he starts chipping away, and he has every reason.
Yeah.
But if Scotty comes out and he starts chipping away, oof, that's not a good look for MJ,
then he's just going to look like he's hating.
Fair enough.
Because if all the GOATs in the doc praise Jordan godlike, that's the word I need. If your contemporaries who are the best at that time are saying, no, you're the best, that's it. I don't care what the other role players are saying about me.
Who are you talking about?
Like Magic, Larry, like they're saying he's
but they're also guys who didn't play against LeBron. Like there's never going to be guys who played against both.
But I'm just saying,
Kobe.
like at that time, he's the greatest. So it's like Jordan will never play against LeBron in their prime. So we'll never know, like really had them head to head. But I'm just saying, from what we saw in the doc, from what we saw in real life, and then what we see from LeBron right now, it's like Jordan's the best.
I don't deny Jordan's the best. That's not what I deny. So it's
like people can take all these knocks at him. It's not going to dethrone him.
Here's what I'm saying. I don't deny that he's the best, and I think he is the best. Prior to the documentary, I thought he's the best. The documentary has solidified it in a lot of ways for me. That being said, I think he's opened up more doors for criticism through the documentary instead of close them. And the idea behind the documentary, I presume, was I'm going to close all the doors.
Okay.
You're not even in this conversation, LeBron. You're not even in this conversation, Kobe. Nobody's in this conversation. It's just me. I'm the GOAT. And now all of a sudden, you can see a door open over here where it's like, yeah, I mean, he was good, but he was kind of a bully. A door open here. Like
Horace Grant said, "I'll fight you right now." So if the story's coming out, he wouldn't let Horace Grant eat, and now Horace is like, "I'll fight you right the fuck now." What you gonna do if you're Jordan? You gotta fight this guy, or you look kind of like you might have been lying.
Or you have something coming out where it's like, yo, Dennis Rodman was one of the greatest basketball players to ever play basketball. He just didn't really score the ball that much, but the fact that he played the game the way he did it allowed Michael to be successful. And then it comes out that, whoa, Scottie Pippen was actually the second best player in the NBA during Jordan's career, and he happened to be on Jordan's team. Like, if all these things start coming out like, whoa, that was actually the first super team. And not only did they have a big three, they had a fourth, Tony Kukoc, was one of the best players. And it's like, is that the most talented team ever? More talented than the Warriors? All I'm saying is doors are opening. Out of nowhere, all these doors are opening, and you're like, whoa, that was not the goal of this documentary.
Yeah.